Yeah, how ready are they? How ready am I? How ready is everybody? How ready is Nigeria today? Welcome to the Sports Republic show. I tell you, it's a very big one because the Unavailability of Rwanda are expected to arrive in Uyo on Wednesday, September 4th, ahead of their 2026 World Cup qualifiers against the Super Eagles. Officials of the team have stated this. Nigeria will host Rwanda at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium on September 6th. And that's a very big game coming up. You need to know, Rwanda with 8 points are currently placed second behind South Africa, 13 points. While we wait for the points to be docked, why Nigeria is just somewhere, the pecking order, down the pecking order, fourth on 7 points. A win for the Super Eagles is essential as Nigeria hopes to narrow the gap, especially with a 3-point, 3-goal penalty dangling and also dangling on the South Africans for the fielding in of an ineligible player in the likes of talk about Boho Mokwena against Lesotho in the early hours of the qualifying series. But Rwanda coach, his name is Adel Amuruch. You know, I mean, a very good coach. You know, he's announced his provisional team for that game against Nigeria this weekend ahead of the matches against Nigeria and the Warriors of Zimbabwe. That's a game that was played the other time, but this time around, it's about who with the Rwanda side. The squad comprises of 3 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 6 midfielders, and 9 strikers. In other words, Nigeria will welcome in Rwanda, and that will be a very game that you don't have to miss. Still on the story one I'm talking about, Nigeria chances of qualification for the World Cup to be co-hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, depend on winning the games against Rwanda next week and then South Africa in Bloemfontein on September 9th. The Super Eagles are also in need of this victory, and they just have to stand a chance to qualify for the just maybe Interconfederation playoff if they are unable to overhaul South Africa in the Group C. But moving on, the Interconfederation playoff is a 6-team qualification tournament held in one of the host countries, which one team from each of the 6 federations, except for UEFA, as well as an additional team for the federation of the host nation, which is CONCACAF in this instance. Now, you need to know the African representative will emerge from a contest featuring the 4 best runners-up from the continent, 9 groups, with the winner going into the Inter-Confederation playoff. So that's about the first game without the story. You know, the story still stands out there. We should have brought you all of those pictures so you can see Ameruch, you can see the Rwanda team, you can see the Super Eagles, the preparation, how going. I don't like all of those things because we believe that we can get it all right. That's the Rwanda you have on your screen. But away from that said story, let's tell them all. While we anticipating Nigeria make it to the World Cup, a former midfielder in the Super Eagles set of play at the point of time I wasn't born, I never watched him play. His name is Friday Ekpo. He has charged current stars of the Nigerian squad to play their upcoming 26 FIFA World Cup qualifiers with total commitment, hope, and determination. According to Ekpo, he said, "It all depends on how we prepare and play the game. We have to look at what we will do to make sure everything goes well. Talking about whether we have a chance or do not have a chance, that does not matter. We just need to play, and we must do it all right, get it to the end." He also concluded by ruling out the possibility of Nigeria not playing in the last 2 matches in October. Away to Lesotho and also home win to, talk about Benin Republic, a game coming up. He said, should be coming up. We need to win those games. Nobody drops out of it. If you want to drop out, it should have been from day one. Now you can't just drop out. So we have to give the remaining games the best of our efforts. Only 4 straight wins in the remaining qualifiers would ensure that Nigeria get an automatic ticket to the USA, Canada, Mexico 2026. But remember, that intercontinental playoff is what I'm looking at. But finishing as runners-up in the group could take them into a playoff round as one of the best 4. You could say one of the 4 best runners-up in that very one. And also, we talk about one man. There's the news about Nwabali. That's like the biggest of them all. And also, you can imagine the president of Nigeria is now getting involved in the Super Eagles affairs. We'll talk about all of this. Welcome to the Sports Republic show. My name is Kizike. Now, we'll be having our guests join us virtually. Femi Fabumi will be joining as well. And also Benin. Yes, I think we'll have to connect to Benin first of all. Then Femi comes in. So Lagos, Nigeria, just get ready. We've got a lot to talk about on the show. Don't forget, the news is that we have one man who is on the radar. Not a good news, but before we talk about the good news, let's hear from our analysts on the show today to tell us if they believe, just in a short word, that Nigeria can make it to the World Cup before we start going inside the nitty-gritty to talk about all of these things just wrapped up on this show. Yes, welcome. Let's talk to Carrington Palmer first. Carrington Palmer, if you're here, we had you on the show yesterday. It was a great time with you, and then you killed the show, if there's a word like that. But yes, you're here again, so we can have this chit chat. The news says, good morning, first of all. I can hear you. Maybe your mic is muted. I don't know. I can hear you talk. Just to help you out there. Yeah, very well. I can hear you. How are you doing today?
Okay, I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm supposed to connect to Femi Fabumi as the first man on the show, but I need to connect with you because maybe you've slept and you've changed your mind about Nigeria qualifying to the World Cup. Maybe you can say something different. I don't know. Can Nigeria make it to the World Cup? Is it possible? 4 games left.
Like you said, or rather, like we said yesterday, the fate of the Super Eagles is no longer solemnly on the Super Eagles' hand. But I believe the Super Eagles has what it takes to qualify for the World Cup. Yeah, I don't think Rwanda is going to pose any threat for us. We've been meeting them for the past number of years, and we had a good record against them. Same with South Africa, and yeah, we met in the last AFCON and we managed to win on penalties, but it's not going to go on penalties this time around. I think we can get maybe a 1-goal victory over South Africa in their home country, because we normally do that before, and I don't see that to be a problem. And of course, this is the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We are the Giants of Africa. We have one of the best players in Africa. The current African best player, Ademola Lookman, plays for us. Victor Osimhen, one of the best strikers currently in the world of football, not just in Africa or in Europe, the world of football. Victor Osimhen is a name that is sought out for. We have him. And yes, if we can free up this Alex Iwobi to be that creative midfielder, we all see what he can do in Fulham if he's playing as a creative midfielder. If you don't play him too deep, Iwobi can definitely create goals for you and also get it for you. So I see us qualifying for the World Cup. Yes, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy run, but I believe the Super Eagles will win all the matches and qualify the 2026 FIFA World Cup in USA, Canada, and Mexico.
Okay, so let's connect to Femi Fabumi. Yes, Femi, if you're here, good morning. Great to have you. Join us this day.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well. I can hear you very well, very clear.
Yeah, good morning, Kizike.
Yeah, my man. It's been a while.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the last time we had you on the show was during the AFCON in 2023.
Yes,
yeah,
that was like a year plus.
Yeah, that's true. 2023, playing 2024, so they know. Also, Femi, let's have you on the spot now. I'd like to tell me, we've not really had this chit chat for a long time. Do you see? I don't know how you want to talk about this, but be realistic to me. Don't be sentimental. Don't sound Nigeria. Just tell me about the possibility. If it's white, it's white. If it's black, it's black. Can Nigeria, looking at 4 games left, Rwanda is next, South Africa is next, after that we play in October, can we make it to the World Cup come 2026?
Kizike, I think we can make it.
We can't.
But it is we can.
Oh, we can.
But it is going to be a very, very difficult task. It's going to be a Herculean task, knowing full well that we just have 4 games remaining, and then we still have to play the likes of Lesotho, the likes of South Africa, Rwanda. Yes, the last time we defeated them, so we can say, oh, that is going to be a stroll in the park. And then we also have Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe came to Nigeria and held us to a 1-1 draw. So it's doable, and also a very, very huge task. But there is something like a relief for Nigeria. South Africa has got 13 points. Should FIFA deduct 3 points from South Africa, they will be left with 10. And if we can't defeat Rwanda come next week Friday, and then go over to South Africa to defeat South Africa, we will be level on points with South Africa. That way, we may be standing a chance to actually qualify for the World Cup in 2026. But like I said earlier, it's a very, very difficult task. And don't also forget that our goalkeeper, Stanley Nwabali, is injured at this point in time.
Yeah.
And that has caused a lot of discussion about who is going to step in to replace him. Unfortunately, we do not have our second choice in the list, the likes of Maduka Okoye, and then so we now have to choose between or amongst the four goalkeepers remaining. So that is going to be a huge task for Coach Eric Chelle. But then, like I said earlier, it is very, very doable. Should we defeat Rwanda come Friday and again go over to South Africa and defeat South Africa? It's possible. We've done it before against the Bafana. We can do it again. At this point in time, we are down, and EU is down, fears no fall.
Okay.
So we should approach the game like our lives, depend on it.
Okay, so that's about Femi Fabumei. That's what Nigerians do a lot. We do that a lot. We like to hope. We believe. Nobody pray past Nigeria. We still believe, and I'm liking him on the show. He's saying Nigeria, there's no way we just can't. We've got nothing to lose at this point in time. Just go play the game without fears. But let's talk. You heard him say he talked about in the Stanley Nwabali, the Super Eagles #1. So with barely a few days to Nigerian crucial 26 World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda and South Africa, Super Eagles first choice Nwabali, that's his name, have been, or report says he has been injured while on duty for Chippa United and South African side PSL on Tuesday evening. Nwabali, who is equally Chippa's United #1, the goalkeeper, was stretched off and replaced by Elsin Stelo, or Sechole, that was name, in the 35th minute rather, and that's away against Richard Bates in Durban. Although details of the injury have not been ascertained, it, however, looks serious from the manner he was helped out of the pitch. I like to say this again. Details of the injury have not been ascertained. However, it looks serious from the manner he was helped out of the pitch. The news of Nwabali injury is a bad one and will hit Super Eagles head coach Eric Chelle definitely with much concern, as the Chippa United captain has been the Nigerian #1 goalkeeper since the delayed of the 23 AFCON last year, where he shone as the country's #1. He went all the way to the final and then only lost to host nation Ivory Coast to finish as runners-up. Maduka Okoye also, I like to call him fine boy, no pimple. Maduka Okoye, who should have also stepped in as the next in rank, is serving the ban for his involvement in betting infraction in the Italian Serie A and was overlooked in Chelsea's 31-man squad. Released for the two qualifiers in September. I'm talking about, the man, talk about, the goalkeeper. That's his name. You know his name, Maduka Okoye. After the game against Rwanda in Uyo on September 6th, Eagles will travel immediately to Bloemfontein for the must-win clash with Group C leaders Bafana on September 9. The other goalkeepers in Chelsea's squad include former Benden Insurance safe hands Amaso Bansoche, who now plays for Tanzania side, Singida, Black Stars, Adelaide Adebayo of Volos Football Club Greece, and Sporting Lagos Football Youthful, you could call him youthful goalkeeper rather, Ebenezer Harcourt. I'm liking him. Scan report of the injury will determine how long Nwabali may be on the sideline. Super Eagles are expected to report in Uyo on Monday ahead of the clash with Rwanda at the Goswell Akpabio Stadium in match day 7 of the qualifiers. Now, let me connect with you now. Carrington Palmer, let's talk. I'd like to ask you this. One department that we've had a problem is the goalkeeping department. And when Pesero, that's if not for any reason, that's why I like Pesero. Pesero was able to convince Nwabali. Pesero is the reason why we know Nwabali, the national team. Now, aside all of this scenario, Nwabali is in the case now. He's ruled out of this encounter coming up. He's very close. And I, for one, if I happen to be the manager of the side, I would not want to force him into that very game. Now, look at the goalkeepers we have on the radar. Adebayo, Adelaide, look at Harcourt, Ebenezer. We're talking about Amaso Bansoche. In this very crucial game to play against Rwanda, see, draw not be option. Now win, just the win. See, 1-0, 2-0, 10-9 is the result. We just want the point. 3 points, just win your games. Nwabali's blow, how does this come to Eric Chelle personally? A man that just went on to play, you saw the last game, the Chan team, even though a lot of people are saying he should have not been involved, he should have left it for Oguma Dede and Elechiko. And I believe that's a pressure on his head. Now Nwabali is on the list. How does he go from the Franco-Malian from this? I still can't hear you. I don't know what's wrong about that. I still can't hear you. Oh, We can't hear you. Okay, we'll just maybe Benin, please. You have to. Let's see if that can be adjusted. Let's connect to Fabumi. Fabumi, I give you that question. Please tell me, what could Eric Chelle be thinking now?
I think the goalkeeping problem we've had in the past is back, considering the injury to Stanley Nwabali. But like you rightly mentioned, we cannot ascertain the level, of Nwabali's injury. It's possible that it's just a knock, and that it will be back, come next week against Rwanda. But in the situation that we cannot have Nwabali, we are stuck with Obasoge, with Adeleye, and then the 15-year-old Emmanuel Akot. For me, I think Emmanuel Akot is out of it. He's still young. He's 15-year-old. We cannot put or allow a 15-year-old man the post for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I think he's just there for the experience, as the case may be. As for so it's between Obasoge and Adeleye. Obasoge used to be a very fantastic goalkeeper while he was playing in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Yeah, sure. But since his sojourn to the Tanzanian League, we cannot really see what has become of him. But I want to believe that Obasoge is still very, very good as he used to be. And as from Adeleye, I think he's just moved from his Cyprus club side to a club side in Greece. So I think he's doing well too. But then we will surely miss the services of Stanley Nwabali in the situation that it does not get to play. Also, we will be missing the services of Maduka Okoye because of his serving his ban at this point in time. Yeah, I think Nwabali will be a very big miss. Maduka Okoye is just so unlucky because this is when we feel like we should have him in. But Femi, I'd like to hold you on the words you said. Would you not say, I don't know if you would like to fault the federation. I mean, we don't have this lot of grooming. These goalkeepers you talked about, because no choice. Later on, we'll get to bring the list out so everybody can see. These goalkeepers you talked about, are they Nigerian Super Eagles proven? Because I know what about proven players. Master Basoje, Super Eagles goalkeeper, manning the goalpost on a very big day, on a must-win match, a team and a game that could be at the detriment of the nation without any choice. Are you saying we can risk, maybe we just use what we have, but you see that we're not doing a lot in the goalkeeping department? What happens tomorrow if Okoye Maduka is out? We've not groomed a lot. Can these guys you just mentioned, I know it's a day for a tryout, I know it works, but are you going to have a tryout in a very big game, a must-win game against Rwanda? For me, I think it's a must-win, like you rightly mentioned. Adeleye is it's going to be between Adeleye and Amas Obasoge. So for me, what I've seen of Obasoge, I think is a better goalkeeper than Adeleye. I cannot say as of now that he's playing in the Tanzanian league, but the coach will see them in training. I think Emmanuel Akot is out of it. Is still very, very young. He cannot be trusted with the goalkeeping duties on that day. So it's between Adeleye and Obasoge. But for me, I'm not a coach. I'm not Eric Chelle. I would prefer Obasoge to Adeleye. But then, like I said, I'm not the coach. Whosoever does well in training should be allowed to man the post. Bearing in mind that the match against Rwanda is a must win for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The match against South Africa is a must win for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And if in the end we do not finish as tops in our group, there is second chance, and that is the best spot loser in this situation.
But you need to get close. You need to get close to get to that phase. You're just fourth.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that even if it's for now, it is very, very difficult for us to finish as tops, but it is doable, like I said earlier. And I'm saying that all hopes, is not lost. We have another chance, so we should aim for the top. We should try to defeat Rwanda. We should try as much as possible to record an away win in Bloemfontein against the Bafana of South Africa. That way, we will stand a chance, of making it. Should in case FIFA, refuses to deduct 3 points from South Africa, then if we finish with 10 points or thereabout, we may eventually, make it through the playoffs. if we are determined and willing, to go all out.
Okay, so while we still talk, if Benin is ready, we can still connect to Benin. Benin could just be on the sideline, but just let us know. But let's talk about Eric Chelle. Eric Chelle for me is not sleeping now because there's a news. Let's get to the next phase. Ademola Lookman is in the story. Victor Boniface in the story. These players were named in the 31-man provisional list for Nigerian squad, for the World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda and South Africa, respectively. Lookman, you know what has been going on. Urich is the coach now of the Lades. Talk about the man in Bergamo, Atalanta. And Lookman has been an integral part of that very team. But you know what Transfer is really doing to our own CAF best player. I'll talk about Lookman. He's currently training away from the Atlanta squad, following his failed move to Inter Milan. And he doesn't look like he's going to be integrated into the team. The current African Player of the Year, lack of game time will affect his match fitness. Everybody knows. And the nature of Nigerian forthcoming matches requires Eric Chelle to have his best legs in prime for this game. Best leg in prime form, and let's see how the Franco-Malian will go on this. But can I tell you, Nigeria needs 6 points from September's World Cup qualifiers to stay in contention for a ticket to the 26th FIFA World Cup. Similarly, while we talk about Ademola Lookman, let's talk about Victor Boniface. His proposed move to AC Milan fell through in the immediate. The forward may not be part of Eric Ten Hag's plan, particularly with the signing of Christian Michael Kofani. Following the failed move, Boniface has since returned to Leverkusen, and it is expected that he begins training, nonetheless, without game time going into the World Cup qualifiers. His situation also poses some concern for the Super Eagles head coach. No bars on this. It's about Boniface, it's about Lookman, it's about Eric Chelle's headache. Now, Boniface, an estranged figure since making his international debut for Nigeria, has been capped 13 times, but the forward has just been, a goal. He may still have a goal to show for his game, all of the opportunities he's getting. But in the past in the past, that's the word, there have been calls for the 24-year-old to be dropped. People are saying, let's drop Boniface. Boniface is not good. Owing to both on and off the pitch, his incident, he's not doing well, he talks a lot, the social media proven, blah, 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 word of talk. I mean, people keep talking, like mouths just waggling and eyebrows is being raised. However, all eyes will be on Eric Chelle, who is expected to name his final squad for the game in the coming days. Very soon, we'll bring the list so you can see the 31-man list who are in that squad. We also like to reiterate again that Nigeria are currently fourth in the Group C with 7 points, 6 points behind group leader South Africa. The group also includes Lesotho, Rwanda, Benin Republic, Zimbabwe. Nigeria has 1 win from 6 matches. So before Eric Chelle got on this job, the team don't spoil before. I not go talk to Eric Chelle. I say it and I will say it again. If the Nigerian Football Federation will listen to me every time and anytime, I will say this Franco-Malian might not be the world-class coach you envisage. He might not be the one you say you want, but this is what they gave us. This is not what they promised us. But like I said, Nigeria likes to be distracted. This is not time to say Eric Chelle is not good. This is not time to talk about the chant team. All we need to do is support, get focused, the resilience, determination, believe that we can make it, and give this Franco-Malian all he needs as that support. But I don't know if Benin is ready. Character Palmer, if you're here, can we talk? Just the mic muting if it's cool off. Yeah, you can talk. Let me hear you now. Can you hear me well? Oh, that's a problem. I feel like we can't talk today. Who is in the studio? I can't hear you very well. Oh, Palmer, I feel like it's not our day to talk today, Carrington. I know you can hear me, but I can't even hear you. So I have to put you on the bench again. When you're ready, let me know. Femi, let's talk. Yes, Femi Fabomi. The man, the editor man, sports editor of his one of the finest. Let's talk about Lookman, Boniface, looking at Eric Chelle. What are you expecting Eric Chelle to do? If tomorrow happens to see we play Rwanda and you're seeing Eric Chelle starting Ademola Lookman has been training away from the club, how would you feel? Or Boniface getting the start of being involved, would this make any sense? Would this send any message to Nigerian players out there?
Kizike, at the moment, I do not envy Coach Eric Chelle. He's got a very big headache to deal with. I wouldn't want to call it migraine, but then he will be racking his brains at this point in time. For once, all is not well with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Look at Boniface. He failed medicals at AC Milan. He's back at Bayer. He's not really replicated his club form, for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So he's a player that would be on the bench ordinarily. As for Aruna Lookman, is a bit unstable at this point in time. Personally, I want to believe his attitude is overboard for me. But then I want to leave that for now. He's not stable. He's not been playing with the team. He's not even been training with his team. That kind of player, it will be very, very difficult for the coach to just throw him in. And also, our proven striker, Victor Osimhen, is actually doing well in Galatasaray. He scored a beautiful goal the last time. And so we also have another fantastic attacker in the person of Tolu Arokudare. So I think that with these two, if they put up a very good game on that day, we should be able to defeat Rwanda and also defeat South Africa. We've done it before. Like we mentioned earlier, the goalkeeping department is in serious crisis at this point in time. Maybe if they had an inkling that Nwabali would not be available or could not be available, maybe they would have added more players in that department. But for now, we just have to make do with either of Obasogie or Adeleye. And for me, we have a crucial match. We should not be experimenting. But the coach does not have a choice at this point in time. He's got to experiment and he's got to choose between Obasogie, who plays his trade in Tanzania. An African country, and Adeleye, who also joined another club, I think Volos, in the Greek league. So we wait and see if the coach we have Nwabali back in the team, and if not, he's got no choice than to choose between Obasogie and Adeleye. As for the midfield, as for the defense, the likes of Truls Ekong, the likes of Ola Aino and others should actually do justice in the defense. And as for the midfielders, it will be Wilfred Ndidi, who just joined a club side in Turkey. Yes, should be there to also do justice. And then there's I've forgotten the name of this other guy who's been doing well for Super Eagles of Nigeria. I think what we need to do is the understanding, the cohesion between the defense, the midfield, and the attackers. What the problem we've had in the past is the fact that the midfield, failed to supply or crosses or passes to our attackers, and I think the coach understands this this time around, and coupled with the fact that this is a must-win for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Kizike, should we draw against Rwanda, we are automatically out of this race.
Yeah, we'll be kissing the World Cup goodbye.
We cannot afford to even play a draw. I know. I think we are in this situation because we took things for granted. We played draw against less fancy teams in the past, and now it's time to take the bull by the horn, defeat Rwanda. We've done it before in the AFCON qualifiers. We can replicate such again, and then South Africa, we've done it before in the past. We should be able to do it. And like I said, if we cannot finish tops of the group, we should aim to finish second, and then maybe pray to qualify as one of the best second place teams in Africa, the African playoff, and then the world playoff. That is a very, very, very difficult route. But then, if that is what it takes, we should, take it and be at the World Cup in 2026. Remember, the Super Eagles of Nigeria made their debut in USA 1994. So we cannot afford not to stage a return this time around. So by all means necessary, we should strive to be at the World Cup. And it is doable. It is doable.
Okay. It is doable. Nigerians watching, I like to let you know, this is when permutation comes into play. We just believe in that we can get it all right. It's not been an easy road for the Super Eagles. This did not start today, looking at the road and how far we've come. But you just heard from our guest analyst, Femi Fabumi. He still, if there's any word, I just want one word. He believes that Nigeria can make it to the World Cup. It's doable, that's the word. But, jobs have been given to people. And let me say this, what's the word? People are paid for this job. There's a federation governing the football world, the NFF, in everything football in Nigeria. So these things, there are people that earn from this job, if you need to know. But whenever it's getting to the other phase, I feel like hands are not competent enough. Let's talk about the number one citizen of Nigeria. You can't be imagining, like this is not the VOP this morning. Like VOP, you know, you have Fanny Moore as the guest analyst, you're having Barrister Darlington as the guest analyst, and you're having, you know, Moses and Chukuma to talk about all of those things. This is not the show, this is the sports show. But, you know, when we talk about the president of Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria, under the stewardship of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, desires to see the male national football team, the Super Eagles, do what? Reach the World Cup finals. No, you don't reach where president will come out because the matter don't tight. You don't tie gilly. We not going to carry our forehead like antenna. Because to this end, I tell you, the federal government through the National Sports Commission, NSC, has set in motion plans and programs that will actualize this big goal of the president and over 210 million Nigerians. Everybody wants to be at the World Cup. That's just what it is. Before I even go on, let me tell you something. You need to know this. If there's one thing that brings the world together, let me even leave the world. Make I talk the one way concern me in Nigeria now we did. We don't talk about NSAS. That one about one. I never want to remember government for that one. I see NSAS, he pay me, I carry him for it, he pay me where. No, because I see him, I did it. No, that's not. That one just, my guy said, the mover. We don't talk about NSAS. Now, NSAS on one side. End bad governance, it wasn't long we talked about. See, you could see people come with a verse, right? But you know what football does? I'm sorry to sound this or other sport, but regardless, no disrespect, football unites the world. It brings the world together. It does not name, it's not concerned about where you're coming from. For Nigeria, if you like maybe Soko, maybe Shekiri, maybe Warri person, or maybe you can't be Bini person, because it be Ondo, any state where you come from. We know they know, Kanu, Kaduna, Adamawa, anywhere, Taraba, we just come together as one. And that's what this game does. The last Mondial, I said it and I will say it again. We were not part of the World Cup in 2022. I don't know personally for myself, KTK on the show, where I would be if Nigeria don't make it to the World Cup. You know what happens? Journalists, we not get gigs again. We not the 6 months again because we not family go know each other talk. We not feel go anywhere. We not feel travel. Everything. See, and aside we now being presenters or journalists, what happens to brands at every World Cup? Maybe match the show for TV, maybe they watch them. Brands, advert good day. It will be so shameful if Nigeria don't make it to the World Cup. Now look at the players we have in our set. Victor Siemens have been play ball. Many of these guys are key players. How would it be that they will end their careers without playing? But one of such plans is the setting up of a strategy group for the Super Eagles and the Football Federation, whose mandate is to complement the NFF and to provide the necessary support with the backing of the presidency. We gathered at the presidency, or the president rather, initially wanted something in the mode of presidential task force. That's PTF, if you remember 2010, which was a task force. I think then the chairman of the National Sports Commission, NSC now, Madam Chelle, has turned that down. And turned down to a strategy group. No. It's no more that name. It's now strategy group. But the strategy group role goes beyond just the Super Eagles game. They have to take special interest in the matches involving South Africa as well as other teams in Group C of the 26th World Cup qualifier. We also gathered that an advanced party of the strategy group will be leaving for South Africa next week to mobilize Nigerians in the former apartheid enclave to give the Super Eagles the much needed support before, during and after all important confrontation against the Bafana of South Africa. It's noteworthy to mention that the Super Eagles World Cup Strategy Group helped make Kigali, the Rwanda capital, home of the team by mobilizing support for the 3-time African champion. The Sports Commission also strongly believes that the strategy group and the NFF will replicate the Kigali experience in Bloemfontein come 9th of September. To this end, the leadership of the National Sports Commission is appealing to Nigerians, home and abroad, to line up behind the country's symbol of football success, talking about the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles journey to the 26th World Cup final that is on the precipice of doom. Precarious situation with 4 must-win games against Rwanda, South Africa, Lesotho, and Zimbabwe. Super Eagles' voyage to reach the 26th World Cup finals, to be co-hosted by America, Canada, Mexico, had hit the rock before the National Sports Commission, NSC, under the stewardship of Madam Chelle and Honorable Bukola Olapade was born. Most football stakeholders who spoke, our correspondents say no amount of effort, resources and money spent on the World Cup ticket is too much for the country, and they pleaded with the NSC, the strategy group, to support the Super Eagles and the NFF fully. Meanwhile, the camp of the Super Eagles for the decider We are the destiny. We're waiting. We should see what happens is coming up next. Let me have this talk with you. I don't want to keep talking about the president and the rest of that. I'm so surprised he's involved in this, but it's good to see that he's involved because he knows what it takes to be at the World Cup. Now, Femi Fabumi, if you look at all of... See, I don't know if the strategic things work. I don't know. But, I mean, we saw what happened in Kigali. They flew some of the fans, and it paid off. Because the last time we scored a goal in Kigali, Rwanda, before Osimhen scored, the last one was Obafemi Martins that scored a long time ago. You don't tell me Martins scored that goal. Now, Osimhen don't go there. We can't go shoot and say, yes, that will be super goal. And I know what it takes to play against Unavailability. I know how Kigali looks. It's not a place to just go and get results. But we did it, and I felt like Chelle has arrived. But what happened in the Zimbabwe game, I was so shocked. They blame Ekon, they blame Chelle, Osimhen the first. But let's keep that. It's not time to point the blames. Why are we so concerned about South Africa match? Why? Why are we not thinking about the one closest? That's one question I'm asking you. And secondly, I'm asking you, this strategy move, NSC, with due respect, Madam Shehu Diko, and the president involved, can this work?
I don't want to believe the school of thought that says that we are most concerned about the Bafana games.
Yeah.
I think we are concerned about the two games. Considering the fact that there is no cheap game again. Remember, if we drew the likes of Lesotho, we drew the likes of Zimbabwe, so we cannot afford to underrate the Rwandans. So I don't want to believe that we are most concerned about the South African games.
Yeah.
However, maybe why the South African game is the most talked about is because the Rwandan game will be
in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
In Nigeria, and then it is expected that since we defeated them before, we should ordinarily defeat the Rwandans. Considering even their recent record, I think the Super Eagles have an edge in that one. The problem lies with the Bafana game. Remember, they are topping the group.
Yeah.
Remember, we are trailing them with 6 points, and then and it's going to be the last of this round of games in this period. So, if we can defeat Rwanda and try, the South African game is going to be very, very difficult. But if we can also strive to defeat them, then we can throw away our calculators, we can throw away our systems and say the Super Eagles will surely be in US,
yeah,
Mexico, and Canada. Because what that would mean is that our ego would have risen. We would have our morale would have been boosted. If you can recall 2 straight wins, then it's obvious that would have boosted the morale of the boys. That would have increased their ego, and that would prove that we can still make it to the World Cup, regardless of if FIFA deduct 3 points from South Africa or not. But then, like we say, we must take the game the way they come.
Yeah.
Rwanda first. We must not underrate them. We must not overlook our wrongdoings in the past that made us draw. Remember the last game against Zimbabwe, we were coasting to victory until the very last minute when Captain Fantastic, I love to call him that name, Truce Ekong, lost concentration for a few seconds, and then they equalized, and that really pegged us back. So now I think the boys should have learned their lessons. The boys should ensure that they are in perfect shape for number one, the Amavubi of Rwanda, and second, the Bafana of South Africa. For Rwanda, it's a home game. It's going to happen here in Nigeria. So we should ordinarily, the word ordinarily is being quoted here, because we know our boys, they have a way of messing things up once in a while. So we should ordinarily defeat Rwanda, because we've done it before and we should do it again. These boys are the ones stopping the AFCON qualifying league. So how did they do it? And they're not able to replicate such at the World Cup qualifying series. So I think we still have time. We still have 4 games. Let's defeat. Let's even win our remaining 4 games. I think after this round of game in September, the last round of games for the qualifier will be in October.
Yeah.
We should strive to win remaining 4 games. Kizike, if we mark my words, should the Super Eagles of Nigeria win their remaining 4 games, they will be flying to US, Canada, and Mexico come 2026.
Okay, so quickly, let's go the full list. Let's have the full list now. I've put it. Let's see. Let me see. Let me get out this one. Just stay with me. Okay, now I think it's. Let's go. Let's just check out on the editorial. That's the word. Editorial of the Super Eagles. Yes, you have this now on your list. Now, who should not be making this list at the end of the day? 31-man players. You could say 2026 World Cup qualification squad, and this is the provisional list of 31 players. Nwabali, Amasa Basache, you know, the names are just there. Adeleye, you know, Ebenezer. But quickly, what you do for me now, Femi, you look at this list and tell me who do you think should not be making. Okay, before we talk about this list, let's just show the people watching us. Let them see the table. Let's see the table. Let's see how it looks. The log, the Group C. If there's hope for Nigeria, you have on your screen. You can see South Africa, Rwanda, Benin Republic, Nigeria, Lesotho, Zimbabwe. Who should have known that my country that I pledge all the time will be in number 4. Now we are targeting maybe that number 2 position, where there's a possible second round. If that happens, then glory be to God anyhow, any day. Now, South Africa, one of our prayer points, let me say, we not the rest again with the good church. Now they pray, say, God, I beg, may them dog them 3 points. Even if they dog them 3 points, not be now go see collector. Now, don't understand the matter. So we now just, let's say we all they pray, they wait, but maybe Super Eagles go show them. But let's go back to the very list again. Now, you tell me who should not be making this call at the end of the day. A lot of people on social media are saying, let's do it like we have a coach. Lookman should not be part of this one because not been training. But Lookman not go there. You go fit do that one. Coach, you go get mine. Then also someone is saying, Nwabali is out. Let him go out. No problem of injury, but we should be able to stand out strong. And what is Boniface making and doing in that list? Follow me. Let's go back to the list. Who should not be in this one? On the screen, let's get the list back.
Okay, Kizike,
yeah.
I rightly mentioned earlier, goalkeeping department, we are stuck between Adeleye and Amas Obasoge.
Right.
We are stuck between those two. Our court guy is a fantastic goalkeeper. We saw what he can do. We saw what he's done. He's a young guy, a teenager who knows his onions. But then I believe it is too early at this point in time to throw him into the fray. So it's going to be between Amas Obasoge and Adebayo Adeleye. Unless Stanley Nwabali is able to make it, then we have a man the post. As for the defenders, don't let me go through the list that the list of players that will be there.
Yeah.
But then I'm seeing names like Benjamin Fredericks, Felix Agu, yes. So I believe these guys should be out of the team. Let's make do with the guys that we know, that we've seen play, that we've trusted, we've always trusted, and we still trust. So let's have those guys play in the defense for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And as for the midfielders, the likes of Dele Bashiru, the likes of Alex Iwobi, the likes of Wilfred Ndidi, the likes of these guys that moved to Germany. I've forgotten his name.
Onyeka.
At this point in time. Onyeka, not even Onyeka, the other guy that used to play for Brentford.
Okay, Frank Onyeka.
Oh,
Frank Onyeka.
Not Onyeka.
No, Onyeka catches Club Brugge.
Yeah. It's Oyeka. Yes, Oyeka. And also we should have Oyedikashi too play in the midfield. So I think these guys are good if they decide to bring in their heel games. And then in the attack, like we always have, I think the Super Eagles, they love to play the 4-3-3 formation where we have the right winger and the left winger, and then a single the number 9.
Okay. Follow me. Let me hold you on this. I'd like to ask you one word, but just stay with me. Yeah, so quickly, you have some of the comments. Keep them coming, but we have to wrap up now. This one says, qualifying won't be easy. Osakwe Okechukwu saying, someone say, please like the video. Okay, we are about, okay, yes, like the video. Just go there. Just like, before you leave now, like the video and also subscribe so that when I come on the show, or when we come on the show rather, the time will be 11 a.m. Nigerian time, so you can be part of the show. And also, guess what? Your contribution does matter. I'd like to get your comment. Can Nigeria make it to the World Cup? Can we? If yes is your answer, tell me how and why. If we can't make it to the World Cup, then you also place it there and tell me. Joe Feely is saying, who told some of your analysts that Harcourt is not a good goalkeeper. Forget about his age. Age is just by number. I believe he's talking to Fabumi on this. But he's never said he's not a good goalkeeper. He's only saying he's still very young. He's 15, 16, thereabouts. And also, this one says, please do away with people who have negative minds about our players. That's about Joe Philly. But keep those comments coming. I'll have to go through them and possibly bring them on the show tomorrow. Do you think Nigeria will make it to the World Cup? If yes, how? Tell me, if you do a chair World Cup, you put them in the comment section. So when we come on the show tomorrow on the Sports Republic show, that will be 11 a.m. Nigerian time, so we can talk this through. Thank you so much for everyone who will be part of the show. But Fab will be back to you. What should I have said without you on this show? Come, let's talk. Let me see you again. Thank you so much, Fabumi. Thank you so much.
Kiziki, I would love to be back anytime, any day.
That's my man. Thank you so much. There's no bigger word than this. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Femi Fabumi. All right, PM Sport Editor. Yes, Lagos, Nigeria. This is where we call it the close. Don't go anywhere. We have the midday news coming up next, and that time is for 12 p.m. Nigeria time. I remain your host. My name is Kizzy K. I'm still believing Nigeria will go to the World Cup because this matter I can't afford like antenna, can't afford like Gilly because I tell you, I say road bend. Let me say you bend waka put. My name is Kizzy K. And this is me signing out. The only football player without a jersey. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Sports Public Show. I'll see you. Peace.